Light and peace, brothers and sisters. Topic for today is questions answered from Oahspe. When I first started the spiritual journey, there were a couple of questions I was looking for an answer to, and I truly never get a straightforward answer. Um, and when I stumbled upon Oahspe, those information that my soul, my spirit desired for, was answered. And last night, um, funny enough, um, I had published a website, www.OahspeCollegeUniversity.com. In there, I talk about questions answered from Oahspe. What I did not realize was that I basically put 10 questions answered from the Oahspe there. And when I looked at it last night, I said, wait a minute, it was either the spirit was on me or someone was controlling me. And if you could follow and understand clearly what these 10 questions that was answered by Oahspe, your soul, your spirit will be lifted up. You will live in harmony because those are the things that dawn us, that haunt us all our life. Even a Christian who gave his or her life to Jesus Christ at the point of death, especially when they're in the hospital or they're sleeping, something in them tell them you're not going to the right heaven. They know because your spirit was not fulfilled. So I'm just gonna give you a rundown of all these questions that was answered by Oahspe. This is the summary. What is Oahspe? Who is the Almighty? Who is God? What is an angel? Who were the Israelites? Who and what is Satan? Dietary guidelines. Who and what is Jesus? Types of communication. What does it mean to be a faithist? Now, let's talk about these 10 core values or 10 core information that we learn when you read the Oahspe. And it follows you through your life. And because then you become fearless, you have that confidence when you die tomorrow or when you die today. Because when you get to heaven, if a spirit comes to you, try to deceive you, you'll be like, I know the truth. I know the higher law. Okay? So now, what is Oahspe? Oahspe comes from a Panic language from the continent of Pan that sank about 25,000 years ago. O stands for heaven. R stands for earth or any other earth in another galaxy. Spe stands for spirit. Who is the Almighty? The Almighty is the creator. The Oahspe describes the creator, Jehovah, as the incomprehensive one, not in anything created. Who is God? God is a title bestowed on an angel to oversee our world and his heaven. The heaven of first resurrection, second resurrection, and third resurrection belonging to our world or to any heaven that a God has been assigned to. What is an angel? Angels are spirits of dead that once lived in our world like Earth or any other stars. Because we have stars where spirits living, when they die, they become an angel. That's what an angel is. Who were the Israelites? Israelites, the beginning of the Israel was the combination of two people, Is and Zar tribes. Organized by Abraham, the faiths moved into what would become Egypt and were called Israelites. Moses led them out of Egypt. They settled in North Arabia and they called their new land Israel. Now, that's up for debate. Also spelled as Israel, faith in Jehovah. The offspring of these two tribes, Is and Israel, were called Israel or Israel. Based on language, Israelite edition was not edited saying Israelites. Next is who and what is Satan. Satan is a title given to any human, spirit, angel that is against resurrection, ascension, and progression. Now, in one of my videos, I talk about Satan come first, then God. We are all Satan as long as we are against resurrection. And most of these angels that are in Etheria today, the Orions, the Nevian, were one Satan. Okay? So in Oahspe, questions was answered from Oahspe who and what a Satan is. We now know that Satan is just simply a title. Dietary guidelines, Oahspe suggests or recommends strongly that herbivorous diet is the way to go in our current cycle. The cycle that Oahspe gave, which is called the Kosman cycle, started in the year 1848. There's been a debate about it that, eating vegetables, fruits, is not enough. But when you look at the herbivorous diet can give what carnivorous diet can give. You see, the two differences that the herbivorous diet produces electricity. Carnivorous diet makes you a warrior. Okay? Who and what is Jesus? The name Jesus is a state of being that any human can attain to. Yeshua was the original name, but mankind at that time could not pronounce it, so they call it Aisu. Aisu means without sin, or one who is risen against or above sin. According to Aisu, is a person who moves in light. Aisu also means having no earthly desire, signifying having no sexual desire, which is to say, Aisu can also refer to a person born of neutral sex or very nearly so, was neither boy or nor girl, in so far sexual organs were concerned. So in other words, what they're saying is that if you're an Aisu, you probably did not even have a sex organ, no private part. And if you do have a private part, it will probably double. Probably had the male and female part. But clearly this is saying neutral, which means they had no sex organ, no private part. Okay? Aisu also means that one that can hear the voice of the Creator correctly with no mistakes. That's the clear definition of Aisu. Then questions that was answered from Oahspe is types of communication. There are two types of communication. One is direct and the other is indirect. Number one, direct inspiration comes directly from hearing the voice of the Creator. There are few people that put it this way. Everyone can hear the voice of the Creator, but because of darkness in our world, because we did not grow up understanding, we lost that voice. Now we got to go back and attain to hear the voice of the Creator. Two, indirect inspiration comes from human, spirit, angels, God, and goddesses. So if a God speaks to you, that's indirect communication. If an angel speaks to you, that's indirect communication. When you invoke a spirit or when you say the Holy Spirit ministered unto you, that's not direct communication. So Oahspe gives clarity about it, that if you hear the voice of the Creator Himself, if the Creator speaks to you, that's direct. Anything else is indirect. And finally, what does it mean to be a faithist? Faithists are those who have faith in the ever-present, not in any form or sitting stationary in any heavenly throne or coming down from the mountaintop. We've had where we see God sit on throne and speaks to humans or speaks to spirits or speaks to angels. That's not the Creator. And there's a story in the Christian Bible where they say, Moses went to meet God on the mountaintop. Moses did not go meet the Creator. He went to meet a God. He went to meet an angel. Any God, any spirit, any angel that is communicating to you from the mountaintop, from the mountain, that's a spirit. That's an angel. That's a God. Now, God is a title. So, if Moses was talking to someone on the mountaintop, he was talking to an angel. He was not talking to the Creator. Okay? And if a spirit or an angel sits on the throne, like how we sit on our car chairs or how we sit on our couch today at home, in our office, and they say somebody in heaven is talking to you from the heavenly throne, that's a God, that's an angel. That is not the Creator. And the amazing thing about this is that our faith is clearly understand this. If you clearly do not understand this, then you have not actually reached the level of being of faith, is because you still have doubt in you. So again, the Israelites spoke to God face to face. All of that was not the Creator. That was God. And if you've not watched my video, I talk about who and what God is. Here you have it. Questions answered from the Oahspe. Oahspe talks about these 10 different principles. What is Oahspe? Who is the Almighty? Who is God? What is an angel? Who were the Israelites? Who and what Satan is? Dietary guidelines. Who and what is Jesus? Types of communication. And finally, what does it mean to be a faithist? Light and peace, brothers and sisters. The next video after this broadcast will be words of Confucius. Confucius was a prophet that was born into our world. I have read some of his words. I read the entire book of Extra that talk about Can You, who happens to be Confucius. He was a phenomenal prophet. I will talk briefly summarize about what he said in the book of Extra in the Oahspe. Light and peace, brothers and sisters. Light and peace, brothers and sisters.